Hey you guys, so I am living my absolute best life. I'm house sitting for one of my girlfriends. I'm so grateful for her because I live at home with my family, which I love. Even being here has really reinforced to me like how grateful I am to be able to live with my family, how grateful I am to be a woman and it's not like looked down upon. And even if it were, I wouldn't care. But like it's literally such a blessing to have people who love me so much all around me every day, cheering me on, pouring into me. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. And while my friend is out of the country and I'm staying here at her place, I think they call it like home basing. I feel so grateful that I've cultivated a relationship where someone trusts me enough to leave me alone in their home. And that she wanted me to have like a peaceful, quiet place to retreat to. And this is actually my second friend who has done this for me. And I made sure to show my gratitude. So they know this, but I really, really hope they know like how much I appreciate that. Like not only the trust, like just like the relationship in general, because I did not ask them to stay at their home. They reached out to me because they're thinking like, oh, like she lives with all these people, like it probably would be nice for her to have like a little staycation, like a little getaway without having to get away. And it's so nice, like it really does feel like a vacation. As much as I love living with my family, like sometimes it is nice to just wake up in like a quiet, peaceful home. I've been doing these meditations and these yoga practices where I chant mantras, and that's something that I normally don't do at my home, although I have been doing it in like my bedroom with the door closed. But I usually don't do that at my home just because I don't want to disrupt my family and they'll probably think that I'm a little weird. My family accepts me no matter what, but regardless, like there's just certain things that you can do when you're in like an apartment type of situation, like completely by yourself, that you might not do in your family home. But I love my family home. Like I'm so grateful. And so I was just watching a TikTok. I'm always watching a TikTok, and the lady's talking about like mistakes she made in dating, and she was talking about like taking too long to level up, and how she was like very insecure about her teeth, and then she finally decided to get her teeth fixed, and she didn't wait to get the braces off to start dating. She began the level up journey of getting her teeth fixed and being confident for her smile and was dating at the same time. She did both. And she actually met her husband with the braces. And so she was like, like, what are you deeply insecure about? And I would definitely say, like, my spending habits, like, it's not my fault, but it's my responsibility to fix. Like, I just grew up always having everything I've ever wanted and more. I've always been a very indulgent person. Even I have one girlfriend. I think this is going to end up being a little long because I just have stories to tell. But so I have one girlfriend, right? And she's the penny pinching friend. Not penny. Yeah, she's a penny pinching friend. And she grew up similar to me. Like, she comes from a good two-parent black household. Um, Not those ones that they talk about on, the stereotypical black family or whatever that they try to portray in the media. Like, I have a lot of wonderful black friends who come from wonderful black families. So like, let's just normalize that because it's already normalized. It's just not, we're just not as loud as the people who come from like the really sad, broken homes. So, where was I going with this? Oh yeah, so she comes from a beautiful, happy black family, which I love, and she has a sister who's actually more like me. And it's funny because my sister is more like her, and her parent would give her like, okay, you guys have $50 to spend on souvenirs, like you have $50 of spending money, and they would know that. And she would look at everything she wants, and then wait until the very last day to spend the money. And then that way she didn't feel like she had already spent the money and then she saw something she wanted more. Like, she would weigh all her options and then at the end choose the best of everything that she had seen. And that's how she would like keep her money. And she sometimes, if she didn't see anything that she really, really wanted, she would just keep the money and save it for the next time, and that way she'd have more money in the future. Her sister, on the other hand, would have her money, spend it immediately, spend it on the first day. As soon as she saw something pretty, she's like, oh my gosh, I have to have it, I can't live without it. And she would get it, and then by like the last day she was trying to borrow money from her sister so that she could get more because she had already spent her money, but she ended up seeing something else that she wanted. Of course, like when you're in this consumerist mindset that I have been in for, I'm 26 years old, that I've been in honestly for 26 years, I'm trying my hardest to break out of it now. And I've kind of been forced into it because I'm a little financially, not a little, I'm pretty financially stretched right now. I'm currently making 1/5 of what I've been making for the past 4 years. So, that's difficult to say the least. But it's necessary. And that just goes to show, like, sometimes God will put you in a difficult situation to sharpen your skill set, to build grit, to make you get these habits that you were not developing when things were abundant and things were good. Okay, would it have been great if I had learned these skill sets? And I did learn the skill sets. Like, I know all about financial strategy, I know all about budgeting, I know all about frugal living, I know all about investing. I literally have securities licenses to help other people invest their money. Like, I know all about it, but in practice it just wasn't something I practiced. Like, I didn't have healthy money habits because I just didn't want to. Like, it was no need. But now that the necessity has arisen, I'm really diving deep into everything that I've learned, which is probably makes it a little bit easier for me because at least I didn't get into this situation and I don't even know what to do at all. But I mean, whatever. My situation is my situation. I don't think that one thing's better than the other. When the necessity arises, you'll rise to the occasion, and that's the whole point. So I'm in this situation and I'm learning how to have healthy habits around money. And I feel like this is such a big part of my level up journey, and I'm feeling so grateful because I've always been pretty insecure about my money habits. Like, I am someone who wants to probably stay home. I don't know. I'm diving into my career now, and I do have things that I'm really passionate about, and I have so many projects I want to do. I have a nonprofit, which I'm so passionate about. So I have things that I want to do, and it's difficult to do those things when you have poor money habits. And just as a sovereign human being, we should all feel confident in the way that we manage our money. And I feel like, I don't know if it actually is, but I felt like it was such a red flag for me in dating, where other people were looking at it as a red flag when they would see my spending habits. Like, for a normal, frugal, marriage-minded, financially stable man who's not a billionaire, he's seen my spending habits and he's no, there's no way I can afford this. And so automatically he's not putting me in the wife category because he's I cannot maintain this woman. She spends too much money. She will spend all of our money. She will spend until we're broke. I'm not marrying her. It's a liability. And I knew that, and I couldn't stop doing it because I just that's just how I like to live. And the only man who could really sustain that is a very, 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 very wealthy man. And I actually, since I've been on my financial journey, I feel like I've been attracting more very wealthy businessmen. But the point is, have I met a couple billionaires before? Yeah, but I'm not in close enough proximity to them where we're just hanging out and they're potential suitors for me. And even they are probably penny pinching and not looking to put me in the category. I don't know. I don't know what the case is, but I always felt really insecure about my spending habits because I knew that it was something I just didn't have a lot of control over. A lot of my purchases were very impulsive, and after the fact, after I bought the thing, I didn't feel happy about it. I was just oh my God, this didn't bring that much joy to my life. And granted, when I'm in my room and I see the way it's decorated and I see all of my possessions, I do get an immense amount of joy. I'm a collector. I have so many wonderful items that I've picked up over the years. I'm almost a borderline hoarder, although I've gotten so much better over the past few years. But I do put a lot of emotion into my possessions. And even in dating, even in friendships, just in life, one of my greatest love languages is gifts and then acts of service, because I like to excuse me, I like to have a tangible thing, a physical representation of someone's love for me. And it's just how I am. It means a lot to me, even if it's just something little. I save birthday cards. I still have stuffed animals that exes have got me. I like to see someone's love for me. It's not enough for you to just tell me. I've never been like that, especially growing up beautiful. And I say this all the time. I don't know how that's like perceived when I say that, but seriously, like growing up beautiful, and of course, like men think everything is beautiful. So maybe everybody had this life. Like I don't know, but for me, like the way that I experience like male validation or whatever is like literally from a very young age. Men, specifically black men, but even like white men, but specifically black men, like you know, they were always seeking me out. Like we're not men, they were boys at the time. So like when I was 7, all the 7-year-old boys were trying to talk to me. When I was 8, all the 8-year-old boys were trying to talk to me, and we were holding hands, and he was chasing me on the playground and pinching my butt and trying to get me in trouble in class, and you know, like all this stuff, talking to me during the school assembly or whatever, getting us in trouble, like all this stuff, like that's always been happening. And so where was I going with that point? Oh yeah, it's just that like to me, like male validation is free and cheap. Like if words of affirmation could literally never be my love language, because people who don't love me give me so much words of affirmation. And so I never equated the two. Like if he tells me I'm beautiful, he loves me. No, because like no, I hear that all the time, every day. And I do feel like sometimes I have encountered men, like now in my adult life dating, who want to like humble me. Like they're like, oh, like she hears she's beautiful every day. And so I feel like they like withhold love. And luckily I'm on my healing journey. Well, actually I'm healed and whole now. Like I've been on this healing journey. Now I'm in my financial independence journey. But I don't entertain guys like that anymore, and because I've experienced that so much in my earlier 20s, I know exactly what it looks like. Like, you absolutely do need to speak life over me. That's the bare minimum. Like, literally, the man at the grocery store speaking life over me. So if you're someone who's trying to date me, you absolutely need to be speaking life over me. But I don't equate that to love. It's just like, this is just what you're gonna do, right? But acts of service, I have equated for love, especially if someone inconveniences themselves. Like I always take the first flight out to the airport. It's at like 5 in the morning, and sometimes I come back at like, you know, midnight and stuff. And I fly standby, so a lot of times I'm flying like middle of the week, like just like really strange flights. So if a man like moves his schedule around or makes it a point to pick me up, take me to the airport, or even send me an Uber to the airport, which would be a gift, like that means a lot to me. It means a lot. Like that really, it means something. Or like a man like cooking for me, a man like, you know, acts of service. I equate that with love. That really means something. And I think it's because like my dad, like he loves to cook for us and like look after our cars and just like sweet little acts of service. He's not the most lovey-dovey, but he's pretty sweet. Like honestly, like he's never gonna get off the phone without telling me he loves me. Like he's a sweet guy. Sometimes he'll give us like back massages. Like he's such a sweetie pie. Yeah. Sometimes like if I mention something like, oh my gosh, like we don't have any cumin, I wanted to make this dish, the next day is cumin on the counter. And that's a real experience that just happened recently. Warmed my heart. I was like, Dad, I love you so much. Like acts of service, like it means something to me. I love that. Gifts, it means something. Like I know how men work hard. I know how women work hard to earn money. Like if you're gonna spend your hard-earned money, even like $5, $6, like that means something to me. Words of affirmation is a necessity, don't get me wrong, but it's not, you know, it's not anything crazy. But anyway, so I was feeling really like insecure about like my financial practices, and I feel like now that I'm on that level up journey, like one, my dating experiences are better. I'm entertaining less like shenanigans. I'm not getting won over by like stupid displays of like consumerism. You know what I mean? Like, oh my gosh, like he doesn't love me because he didn't buy me a Louis Vuitton bag. But like that doesn't represent, like that doesn't benefit me. Like now, I don't even want a man to take me shopping at Sephora. I mean, I do. No, I do want a man to take me shopping at Sephora. I do. And I do like to eat at nice restaurants. Obviously. But that's obviously. Like I don't, we're not even gonna go out to eat if it's not at a nice restaurant. And I don't mean nice like expensive even necessarily, but usually it is. But like really good quality food, really good quality ingredients, nice ambiance, good environment, good people around, like all of those things. Like I don't think a man would even think to take me anywhere like that. Like he wouldn't. So that's another like It's a given. Like, it's not something I have to say. Like, it's just like, he knows that, I know that, we know that. Like I would never have to be like, I don't go on Applebee's dates. Like, you would just look at me and know. I never have. I've been to Applebee's before in college, because I went to college in this really small town, and literally all they had was an IHOP and Applebee's. And so, like, if someone does want to take you to Applebee's, like, it could just be their background, their upbringing. Like, clearly they're a person who eats at Applebee's, and I'm not gonna judge them because I don't know where they're from. Even like, I don't think I've ever been to Waffle House. I've never been to Waffle House, or I've been in a Waffle House one time, but I've never eaten at Waffle House. Because first of all, I'm from Michigan and we don't have Waffle House. So I didn't grow up on Waffle House. Like, that just wouldn't be a thing for me. So I don't immediately jump to taking it personal and getting it offended if someone were to offer to take me to Waffle House. But at the same time, maybe I should, because no one's ever offered to take me to Waffle House. Like, they would just look at me, they would hear the way I speak, and they would just know, like, she doesn't eat Waffle House. If anything, I think sometimes guys, like I said, because I'm such an overspender, I spend so excessively that, like, I think guys are intimidated by that. Not intimidated, but they're like, it's a no. It's a no for me. Like, she spends way too much money. It's not something I want to be a part of at all. Even like good guys who are earning decent incomes, like, they could definitely provide for a family, but not with the spending habits that I had. So I'm just like really grateful that I'm working on that. I'm really grateful that I'm pouring into my sisterhood relationships, my friendships, my family, like all of those things. And I feel like it just makes my dating better. I'm really excited about this journey I'm on. Every single day I'm so excited to wake up. I feel like a kid on the first day of school, because each day is a day that I get to move closer to my goals in the life that I've always dreamed of. And right now I'm living in answered prayer. Like, I absolutely love my life. I'm so proud of myself. In the past 5 years, I've done so much. I've come so far. I've grown. I've evolved. Like, I've transformed. I'm in awe of myself. In the past 3 years, I've gone so far. I'm so proud of myself. Like, I've been connecting with someone who I knew 3 years ago, and like, she sees all the changes I've made. And then even in the last year, so much has happened in my mindset. And so I can't wait to see 6-12 months from now. I can't wait to see a year from now. Like, I just feel so grateful. And even on my YouTube, I just started the YouTube channel about a year ago. And I feel so proud of myself because I'm overcoming the fear of being seen and being heard. Like, I'm literally on here in my little headscarf and nightgown right now. And I'll probably post this video because I think I've said some things that were valuable, or like shared some insights. I don't know. This is a channel for storytelling. So as long as I'm able to clearly articulate like my story and what I'm going through and the insights I'm pulling from that, then I feel that that's a good video, because I'm not trying to tell anyone else how to live their life. I'm just sharing my life with you, allowing myself to be witnessed publicly online. And if someone takes value from that, then that's great. But this is the value for me. Like, this does a lot for me, being able to share my story. And I am endlessly grateful to have this platform where I can overcome my fear of being seen and heard, because we all have the fear of being seen and heard. And so it's a big deal to be able to overcome that. Like, it's no small feat. And so anyone who's showing up online regularly, consistently, like, I'm proud of you. You're doing something amazing. You're doing something most of our ancestors never had to do. Like, this is a big deal. Yeah, you're a pioneer, and I love that for you. So I think that's all I have to say. If you made it this far in the video, I love you. Say hello in the comments so that I knew you were here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.